Hi everyone, welcome to today's Monday Rapid Fire Fresh Bitcoin highs. Congratulations if you stuck with the market and stuck with us over the last 7 months of sideways action after the early all-time high for the before the halving. It can be very, very difficult to see those green pastures on the other side of a really tough period. But those of us who've been in the market for a while, I hope you took our suggestions and our advice to heed and sort of stuck with it and understood these are consolidation periods are designed to shake you the hell out of the market before it does this. And when you have so many fundamental tailwinds behind us now, especially after the election with the red sweep, the strategic reserve likely, there's a real pathway for that to actually happen now. There's going to be positioning here, not only by retail participants, but by sovereign nations. There's going to be game theory playing out. And the price action over the last 24 hours over a weekend is very abnormal in my view. You don't normally see this serious movement, and this was serious. It was probably over the last week. I mean, it's over 20% candle, but we're hovering below that low 70s, and then we've just constantly ground higher, plowed through the sell walls above us, which does strike me as something unusual in terms of a massive buyer has come on the scenes. I'm going to go out on a limb and just say maybe it was a sovereign nation that's about to announce. They're saying the US is about to go for a strategic reserve because it's incredibly likely with that red sweep. So game theory is playing out. Other nations are likely looking at this. And you can think of even small Gulf nations like UAE and maybe Qatar and a few others could be accumulating. And we know they're already big on Bitcoin mining, but there could be an eye that this is moving forward. So we couldn't have had a more conclusive weekly breakout close than that. I'm still seeing people in absolute disbelief on Twitter claiming we need to have a big shakeout of 40, 50,000. Now, well, nothing is out of the question. There could be a black swan that, throws us down. Of course there is. But who cares about that? You're not going to be able to predict that. You're not going to be able to anticipate that. If we get something that throws us back down and breaks this entire structure, then I would expect it to be bought up in no time at all and would shoot right back up. So it doesn't really matter when you see these tailwinds that are behind us now. But when we see this trend, this breakout trend on a weekly, on a monthly, daily, it's just pointing one way. So we're going to have consolidations, pullbacks along the way. You just have to deal with that. This is the volatility of crypto. But if you're paying attention to that longer term trend, like we have been suggesting, once we're breaking this all-time high level, then we can really look to the sky. And Bitcoin now is in that clear sky momentum move. And it's the funnest part of the 4-year cycle. So altcoins, I know everyone's keen to know, when's alt season and whatnot. Well, I mean, have you seen the movements of altcoins in the last, 48, 72 hours? The weekend movements, I haven't seen moves like that for a couple of years. And I would look back to my newsletter that I did last week. I mean, I covered this extensively for the Mastermind of what we need to see for the altcoin season, but in my newsletter last week, that edition on Thursday, I outlined what charts need to be showing, X, Y, and Z for us to be in a full-on crypto bull market. And we're there. We're seeing all those tick off, barring, FBTC not, it's doing well, but it hasn't completely blitzed to a brand new uptrending breakout yet. There's still things like that we're watching. Also, Bitcoin dominance is weakening, but there's still a thought here that it could be just putting in a higher low if we're getting this drive of sovereign buying, which could just thrust us higher and throw kind of the dominance angle out the window. I don't know. I think it's going to adhere to the 4-year cycle to a degree, because the momentum and capital regulatory clarity that we have now, especially in altcoins, when you think about if we get a Solana ETF, which now looks likely, what else are we going to get ETFs on? And not only that, big investors in the United States, even barring it doesn't matter about ETFs. And in Asia, they're going to be like, oh, well, Trump's in, the red sweep's here, the SEC, Gary Gensler's gone, it's going to be friendlier, it's going to be more open, it's going to be booming. Invest now. I mean, the risk, that overhang of negativity is now gone. So with Bitcoin, we're looking at a few levels here. It's a Fibonacci extension there. I've just drawn out the levels there. 1.618, it's always a good level I watch. 100 should be fairly difficult to break through the first time, I think. I think we could run into it, maybe go a bit above it. But just like an all-time high, I think these psychological levels, they still will act as a type of resistance. Run into it, maybe pull back to 80, back up to 100, 120, 150, wherever we get to. That will be kind of the movement. But just wanted to also show here the ETFs. Now, the institutional drive, the sovereign drive, is going to come through ETFs. I mean, over the weekend, it likely went through just normal spot markets and OTC because it was outside the United States. But we're going to see, this is just incredible. This is the highest inflow we have ever seen, 1.373 billion coming through crypto on one day. It was like crypto Bitcoin on one day. BlackRock alone brought in 1.1. So that's a very clear indication that huge investors and the wirehouses are coming online. They want to acquire Bitcoin fast and they want to get it now before the sovereign strategic reserve comes into play. So we had 300 billion, yesterday. The ETFs haven't opened yet. They should over the next 24 hours. I can only imagine what they're going to open. I reckon we'll have another couple of $1 billion days starting to stack up. And that's what keeps these prices elevated. That's what keeps us pushing up through these walls. And I saw a lot of communication on Twitter about, Bitcoin can't go higher because of this high open interest stuff. It's just bonkers and it's bullshit, because back in 2021, we had very high and elevated, in 2020, we had high and elevated open interest relative to that period of time. We've had high open interest now relative to the last recent 7 months. Open interest just means that there's a lot of open interest. There's lots of shorts and lots of longs. And when we're moving higher, if the spot bid is strong enough, it doesn't matter how many shorts are above you, it's going to rip through it and, they're all going to get wrecked. So you look, when this organic spot buying comes on, this market is a beautiful thing to behold. But when the derivatives gain control, like we saw in that 7-month period, and also down, say in the bear market, when we're just, cropping lower, it can be really frustrating. But when we have that breakout where the supply shock hits, that's what we're seeing. That's what we get. Okay, and just quickly I want to show you before I log off now, there's lots of opportunities out there, guys, and I'm going to go into depth with the masterminds today. Solana looks incredible. Sui looks incredible. They're all being benchmarked against Ethereum and Bitcoin and Solana, and they're just looking fantastic. So if they're outperforming, I guess, those big three, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and unless you're looking at Solana, if it's outperforming Solana, like a Sui is, then they're the cryptos you want to be really taking a look at and looking for those entries. But it looks like memes are popping. We've got lots of interest across the board, and we're going into a really exciting period here. So this is my cycle map exclusively for the masterminds. I'm showing it to you guys again because we had a notable update. The post-halving intermediate period is over. So 201 days it has lasted. So the yellow box has been closed off. We are now moving into the bull market proper. Happy days. Now, just quickly, the last intermediate period was 218 days. So following really closely the issue, it's never going to be perfect. And that was the whole point of this, that 218 days was kind of the guidepost, but I wanted to see how it reacted. Now, 201 days was it. It reached the all-time high, busted out, and now we're into this bull market period. Do we last what we did the last bull market until about end of September, October? We will see, but it doesn't really matter. There's lots of different variables we're going to be putting into finding that top. So we're going to go from there. But guys, hope you've enjoyed this session, the rapid fire. Hope you're enjoying this market. I wish all the good fortune that comes to you if you've been through, I guess, the hard times of that 7 months just gone, or with the bear market, you've been in multiple cycles, you know the drill. This is very much a time to not overtrade and just get your winners right and stick with them for a while, and then you can start to rotate. So have a great day, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.